It's time now for On Point, where we speak to experts to delve deeper into some of the key issues in the spotlight right now. South Korea on June 1st began issuing short-term travel visas and e-visas after more than 2 years of suspending new applications due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
That's right. This could certainly be good news for all the tourism sector here in the nation, as well as for all those that have been looking forward to visiting us here in South Korea. So how big will the inflow of international travelers be for this summer season and beyond? For this, we connect with Assistant Professor Zmire Zeljana, Department of Tourism at Hanyang University. Very good morning to you.
Good morning.
So first and foremost, Professor, as soon as South Korea began issuing these short-term visas, we heard about the Japanese citizens rushing to their embassies to get them. So how popular do you expect South Korea to be for travelers this summer?
Well, I expect quite popular to be this summer. Well, you mentioned Japan. However, not only Japan, but people from our traditional markets, for example, in Southeast Asia, let's say Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia. So tourists from these countries, they have been eager to visit Korea for 2 years now. And given the fact that now they don't have obligatory quarantine measures, and even when returning back to their countries, they will not be some of them will not be subjected to obligatory PCR tests. So for these reasons, I do expect this summer to be quite successful.
And Professor, do we know which countries are looking at South Korea for their next travel destination now that we have these visa applications open and quarantine measures lifted?
Well, we just now mentioned Japan and Southeast Asian countries as our traditional markets. However, we can also count on some non-traditional markets, for example, European countries. So during the pandemic's era, so many European youngsters, they were bound to their houses, to surfing online, and they were looking for new, refreshing content. So what they found is about South Korea, K-pop, K-fashion, K-culture overall, and they became quite interested. So I think they would be eager to visit this summer. However, I cannot say the same for, let's say, China and Hong Kong. As we all know, they are subjected to obligatory quarantine from 7 to 14 days and many PCR tests. So for that reason, I would not expect many of them to visit us this summer.
You know, I just remember shopping used to be kind of at the top of the list of reasons for international travelers wanting to travel to South Korea. I mean, do you think that's kind of changed with all the craze for K-culture, and do you think the tourism industry will cater to the change in demand?
Well, we just now mentioned Chinese and Hong Kong tourists, and they have been known as very good shoppers in South Korea, and they have been so frequent guests in duty-free department stores and shopping malls. So given the fact that many of them will not be able to visit this summer, I would expect shopping as a part of tourism to decrease. However, we can still count on other parts of tourism, for example, medical tourism. So many people abroad who would like to undertake some non-essential treatments, for example, plastic surgery or skincare treatment. So many of them have been waiting for this moment for 2 years now. So I would guess that many of them would like to visit this summer. And we should also keep in mind that we already have K-pop concerts scheduled and many festivals scheduled. This is so popular among young people, and I expect these to be major drivers of demand.
Right, hopefully we'll see some of that tourism coming back to South Korea. But today, Professor, this is where we'll have to leave the interview. Thank you so much for your insights. Looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much.